feeling about Democrats right now?
Yeah, I mean, Democrats in the minds of the American public are lower than the Dead Sea. What are we talking about here? Well, let's take a look. The net approval rating for Democrats in Congress, you said it, Kate Baldwin, the lowest ever. Look at this. Overall, they are 55 points underwater. Their approval rating is south of 20%. It's even worse when you look at independents. Look at this. Negative 61 points. That means that their approval rating is 61 points lower than their disapproval rating. Quinnipiac has been polling this question for the better part of the 21st century. They have never found Democrats, at least those in Congress, in worse shape than they are right now.
Okay. Hold on. It's one of these videos. Oh, jeez. Lower than the Dead Sea.
It has been reported, and I don't see any reason not to think so, there's going to be another government shutdown as early as next month due to the ongoing stalemate over this time health insurance subsidies. Tell me, are we likely to see another U.S. government shutdown in January? And more to the point, is this part of a calculated strategy by the Democrats to throw as many roadblocks and logs across the tracks and everything else for Trump to make him and the Republicans look bad and chaotic before the midterms?
James, I'll answer your second question first. Yes, obviously, Democrats don't care about the people that they are supposed to represent, whether that be military members not getting paid, federal workers not being paid, SNAP benefits not being given out to those who need it most, as far as will they eat tonight or will they not? So they figured it worked for them, I guess. During the last government shutdown, this will be part of the strategy once again. And the irony is that Republicans will vote to reopen the government over and over again. Democrats will reject it. And then the media will say that it's actually Republicans that are at fault. So Democrats know in the United States that the media will work with them hand in glove as far as pushing a narrative that is absolutely false. And it's all in an effort to get back power in November 2026 during those midterms. And if you could try to sideline the Trump economy, and it's going to explode next year with the big, beautiful bill coming into play, Trump tax cuts being permanent, no tax on tips, more drill, baby, drill. The only way they could win is by basically trying to trip up the government and its progress, and to root against Trump and to root against America's success. That's how Democrats get back into power. And that's the party that says they're protecting democracy. Yeah, no, not based on their actions. That does not appear to be the case, James.
Okay.
Well,
yeah, guys, listen, when it comes down to like the approval ratings, it's pretty obvious that there's going to be a party that's going to have like a much higher approval rating because they're actually trying to do things that are kind of in your face rather than trying to do things kind of like behind the backs of people, if that makes any sense to you. Like I remember the immigration crisis specifically under Biden and Kamala Harris, and if we actually are honest without the bias, let's say, were they trying to do something? Yes, they were trying to do something, but unfortunately, the American people care a lot more, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, I guess, the American people care a lot more about what they can see kind of in their face here. This is why media is kind of all over the place, because they only care about what the media is dictating rather than what's kind of happening behind the scenes, at least. What they were trying to do is kind of fix the problem at the source, but the Americans, while they were like maintaining office, all we saw were a gigantic convoy of illegal immigrants flooding our southern border, right? And that's all we saw. What they should have done is actually fix the border, but that's a more visual thing that goes against what their base generally wants. They do not want to see all of these things because it hurts their feelings. So let's go ahead and fix the problem at the source by funding programs in countries where people are flooding our borders, basically. So whatever countries those people are coming from, let's go to those countries, try to fix the problem, but it didn't work, right? So I think that's kind of the issue with that. So with knowing that, of course, it's always going to look like the Democrats are always doing terrible things because they're not showing what they're doing, right? This is kind of why America is currently obsessed right now with the migrant crisis and immigration and things like that, because we see it. And Trump was smart enough, at least, to push and promote all of these things kind of, in our face, right? Because he knows, he understands how Americans work. We're visual people, right? This is what we see. And if the Democrats are always trying to push against what we're seeing and trying to do things that are like, again, behind the backs of people, let's say, they're not going to get any good ratings. Now, we'll say though, the Democrats were probably the strongest in the 90s. I think that was the end of them. Truth be told, I think large scale, the end of the Democrats, like the last of like the really good, like Democrats were in the 90s, period. Like Clinton had a lot of scandals, but was he terrible? I don't know, guys.
It's not democracy, it's our democracy. Remember that, Joe? That's what they always talk about. But do you think they might even go so far as to trying to launch another impeachment effort against the president next year?
Yes, if they gain back power and we have House Speaker Hakeem Jeffries, it will be impeachment in perpetuity for Donald Trump during his final 2 years in office. That creates chaos. Chaos is a ladder, and then they hope they could use that ladder to get either Kamala Harris, who's now the poll leader as far as getting the Democratic nomination,
run Kamala
into
again.
Power finally, or Gavin Newsom, or even AOC.
Run all three of them together.
Create chaos, and then hope that within that chaos, you could gain back power instead of, again, doing what's right for the country. And that doesn't appear to be the Democrats' playbook right now.
It doesn't look to have been that for quite a long time.
Please run Kamala. For the jokes, for the memes, guys, please
now,
run
I do
Kamala.
have some good news for you, John. Axios has reported earlier this week that Kamala Harris is running again. The former vice president has made it clear to potential 2028 rivals that she's working to keep another White House campaign viable. What are her chances, John?
Zero, guys.
Well, her
Zero.
chances are slim and none, Rita. She's not going to be the Democrats' nominee in 2028. I mean, she was an embarrassment in 2024. I think, Rita, that the reason why she's doing this is not because she's serious about trying to get elected president in 2028, but oftentimes politicians are in this situation where they have to at least tease the idea that they're going to be running for president so that they stay relevant.
Yep.
She wants to
I
be
agree.
a guest on The
Yes.
View.
I agree.
She wants to go on, she wants to get paid $100,000 to give a 30-minute speech and so forth. And so she's got to stay relevant. How do you stay relevant? By putting it out there that you're running for president.
Well, she's had already 2 trips to Australia. First one was speaking at some sort of a real estate conference on the Gold Coast, and I think she's going to be back again. So I don't know why we are being targeted by Kamala Harris. Someone's writing her checks in Australia. I don't know who.
Okay. Listen, guys, if Kamala Harris runs again, she's going to lose. And obviously, depending on who she chooses as like a vice president and things like that, guys. I mean, listen, please show me a ticket right now. All right, I'm gonna give you 3. Give me 3. Do Kamala and AOC, number 1. That'll be hilarious. Okay. Do Kamala and Gavin Newsom. That would probably be even more hilarious. I think. Like the media will absolutely lose their mind. Do Kamala and JB Pritzker from the from Illinois. Just do that. All right, because that's basically what we're looking at here, guys. I mean, listen, they've gotten to the point where they really are not trying to push anything that's going to be like massively beneficial for everyone, unless you are the type of person specifically who like thinks the idea of a perfect country is going to be rooted 100% in like egalitarianism. And if that's your thing, then go for it, right? I mean, Mamdani's going to love you, basically. AOC's going to love you, basically. Like, if that's what you are wanting, then, of course, do what you want here. Like I've said the whole time during like the political season when Trump was getting elected, I seriously don't care at all who people vote for. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. I'm never going to do that. I think that your voting ability is yours, right? And it should benefit your family. And some people do absolutely, in fact, vote against their interests, right? that's a thing that happens pretty much consistently. Like there are people who vote Republican who should be voting Democrat. There are Democrats who vote Democrat but should be voting Republican, depending on their family's issues. Let's say this year, I've always said the whole time, never loan out your vote for a cause that does not affect your family. That does not make much sense here, because now you're voting against your interests. And never vote under any circumstance against your family's interest. Do not. It's ridiculous. Like I have many members of my family who specifically voted for Kamala Harris, and then you ask them why. It's because she's a woman, but that's basically the reasoning. The entirety of the reason. That was my family's overall reasoning for why they voted for Kamala Harris. But it's interesting though. I mean, this is the thing, guys. Your vote is your vote. Please vote how you perceive. I'm not going to feel any differently about how you vote. This is your life. This is your family's life. Bro, I have people that I talk to on a regular basis who have completely different ideas of like political everything than me. It's fine. Again, I think the world needs multiple opinions, large scale. Guys, do you want to watch movies with me? I never actually thought to like promote it over here, guys. But if you guys do want to watch it, guys, we have hundreds of movies, and I mean hundreds of movies that we've reacted to. You guys can come watch them with me if you want to, along with many TV shows. Currently we're working on the show Dexter, along with Vikings, and we have a lot of series that are already completed. But if you guys do want to watch it with me, the link is in the description. Everything's available at the second tier. But of course, if that's not your thing, guys, don't worry, right? Listen, like and subscribe.